So that's the 2 arms put in. Those are the arms, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is come around the neck and up the sides here. So let's turn it so it's inside out. So you should have a strange looking piece which looks, there's the front like that. So that's the front of the bodice. And this is the back here. So you've got 2 pieces which come over like that. So there's a piece like that there. That's the back of the bodice. Like that. Okay. And this is the other back of the bodice here. Just like that. And what we are going to do now is we're going to push this arm out of the way, right down like that. And we are going to pin all the way from here. Leave these bits, don't touch those bits yet. You can pin all the way up there like that. Very quick. 1, 2, and then we're going to come in around the neck, and what we're going to do with this sleeve is push that right down inside. Okay, we don't want to be getting any of that sleeve into where we are going to be sewing. So you're going to push it right down out of the way, and then we're going to come around this neck line here. Okay, so I'll get that pinned as well. 1 in there and 1 in there. Keeping that arm pushed nice and far down out of the way. Okay, this just makes it really neat when you've done it. And if you want to put in French seams as well, that looks really nice as well. Okay, so pop that in. The only thing I might not be able to show you today is how to put the velcros on. At the moment I have very cleverly tidied the room, and somewhere or other there is a box of elastic and a box with Velcro in it. I can't find it anywhere. So you should now have a piece which looks a bit like that. Okay, so that'll be the front of your bodice, and that is the back of your bodice. So we're going to stitch all the way from here all the way down around this neck and down there like that. Okay, so let's go to the machine and do that. So I've got it placed underneath my foot and it's all laying nice and flat, so I'm just going to come on and then do a back stitch and then go all the way around, keeping it right on that edge there. Okay, and you want to put your needle in the down position and then you can turn it. I've gone a bit too far, so I'm just going to do a back stitch. That's better. And then I'll just come around. I've gone too far the other way now. That's it, that's better. Right, and then come around. Keeping this as flat as you can on that machine. Okay, keep going. Right, now as you're getting into this, you want to make sure when you're on this neckline that you've got everything underneath. You're just sewing those 2 pieces together, not any of that underneath fabric. Okay, around again. And again. Okay, now keep going. It's just a little tricky bit here. Alright, and can keep going. A bit too far again. That's better. And then straight down. Finish that with a back stitch. Okay, that's your bodice almost finished. Not too much to do to that now. So this is the bodice all finished and everything's okay. So what we're going to do now is just to come around, leave your corners as they are, and I'll show you how to fold those later. Just come around in every sort of half an inch, quarter an inch, half an inch. Just snip. Don't snip over your stitches at all. Alright, you just want to just snip in. Don't snip into that piece there where the line, where your sewing stitches are, because you'll just break the stitches. Just do it to either side. If you should go for the stitches, just go back over, do another row of stitches where you've cut into it, do a back stitch, cover it over just slightly below where you've cut it, if you've found that you've cut it. Okay, go all the way around here. We don't have to do anything which is straight, so you don't have to do any of that stuff down the bottom there. You will need to come in and snip all the way around here. Alright, so you're just going to come in and snip, snip, snip all the way. Alright, so and then if you do notice when you turn this out that you've got some tacking stitches in there, just take your seam ripper and just pull those tacking stitches out, because we don't want any tacking stitches showing through. Make sure that you're not cutting through any of your fabric. You only want to be cutting the stuff which is on the edge of the this like selvage edge almost, the bit which isn't going to be seen, so that's the inside of that seam. So do both arm sides. Doesn't take too long just to go around and do a few of these snips. And what this will do is allow you to bend in the right way, because you want to get it so that this is actually moving. If you've got it just stitched, it will just lay straight stitch, but if you've got this and it can be moved, you will be able to open it up more. It will go from just being an ordinary round piece, you'll be able to stretch it right open, because those snips will make you be able to stretch it right open. Okay, so right, let's try again. You might just find that you can just pull this piece and pull it through with the by pulling the arm through. Sometimes that just works. It's working now. I'm that stressed and pulling. It just came through by just gently pulling it. There we go. That's through. That's one. Come through. Is it both of them? I think I somehow managed to pull them both through. That's very clever of me. No wonder it isn't coming out. I just basically grabbed hold of the arm and pulled that out. This one doesn't want to come through. What's going on here? Let's loosen it up a little bit here. Loosen that bit up a bit. Let's try it again. That's better. There you go. Okay, so you can have a really nice little bodice piece here. Now, like that. Right, just here on this corner, we're going to fold this piece down like that, so it's sat on those line of those stitches, and then we're going to fold that piece in. We're going to place our finger inside, and we're going to grab hold of that piece there, and then we're going to flip that through, and I will use my forceps just to push that corner out there, and you'll have a lovely straight corner there. So that's that side. That's all looking nice and laying lovely. Come around to this side. Let's fold that corner again. So we're going to fold the top piece down and the bottom piece over so it sits on the line of those stitches. Place my finger inside and grab it with my thumb on the outside, and then just push it through. Take the forceps and push it out, just like that, and there you go, you've got your top. Okay, so that's the little top. Right, so the next thing we are going to do is we are going to take these two pieces of arm here, and we're just going to stitch them along so they marry up. Okay, so from here to here. Then we're going to take these two pieces here and here. So this is your back, and this is your front, and you're going to take these two pieces, your arm will be stitched, so you're going to just move that out of the way. You're going to take those two back pieces like that, join them up on those lines, okay, pin them there, pin them there, pin them there, and stitch straight across. I'm going to do that on both sides. Okay, so we'll go to the machine and do that now. So I've got my two arm pieces together, and we're just going to stitch to here, and we're going to stop when we get to here. So come on, back stitch, and straight across. When I get to that piece there, I'm going to do a back stitch. Okay, lift that one, take that one out of the way, do the other arm. Okay, pop that under there. Just get a piece of cotton out of the way. Push that under there. Sit that on, so that's sat on exact. That's it. Just make that sat, sure that's sat on exact. Come on. Back stitch, and then straight across. Stop when you get to there, and then come back. Okay, that's the two arms done. Now I'm going to get these pieces together. So you want to push your arm right back out of the way there. Just tuck it right inside, down like that. I'm going to just come in here now, pin those two pieces just there, like that, and then I'm just going to come along and I'm going to pop that piece underneath. Alright, so it's there, and it's just going to sit it on that very edge. Come on, back stitch, and then go all the way across. Right, so when you get here, what you want to make sure is that it's going straight, so you don't want to come off this way. You want to bring your fabric down so that it's coming down straight. Push that sleeve out of the way and bring this down together so that comes down in a nice straight line like that. And finish that with the back stitch. Hopefully not too much of my hand was in the way. I'm going to try and do it on the other side a bit better. Let's try it again. So you've got your two pieces, wrong sides to wrong sides. Let's get rid of some of that. You see how quickly the fabric frays, because we've only just been sort of like mucking around with that. Push that right down out of the way, that sleeve. Take these two pieces. I'm just going to pop a pin in this piece on this side. Okay, and then we're going to take this piece here on this side and we're going to pop it underneath the foot. Making sure that they're laying exactly one on top of the other, which they are not at the moment. Let me just grab that, do that, that's it. Okay, put them straight on top, and then I'm going to come in. So we're coming in now, and then do back stitch. Right, and then I'm going to come all the way down. I don't know if you can see, but that is where my arm is, so I'm going to want to push that arm right back out of the way. Okay, keep coming in, and then we're going to turn this whole piece of fabric here, like that down. Take my pin out now, push it down like that, and we're going to come down straight. Okay, and then pull that back out. And that is your bodice almost finished. We just need to put the Velcro in when I can find it. So let's take that back to the table now. You should have a lovely little finished bodice. So here is our lovely little finished bodice. There's the front, it's all laying beautifully. And when you turn it over, there's the back, and it's all lovely inside, as you can see. So you don't see any of those rough edges at all. Just go around now and give it a little press and just pop it to one side, because we shall do, the next thing we will do is a skirt. So I've just got prepared for my skirt, and this is the long piece at the front. And all I've done is taken my ruffle and I've just placed it on, and I've tacked it so that, and I pinned it so that it just sits on the very edge. I don't know, hopefully you can see that. That is on that very edge of that ruffle. So it's just pinned all the way along. And then we're going to do the back piece. So on the back piece we're having one right across the bottom and then we're having 2 more rows, just one above the other. So I've started with my ruffles here. I started ruffling them up, and I think I've just done a tiny bit too much, so I'm just going to pin them on so that it's, let me just check that I've got the right size. I was sat in, we just went out to lunch earlier. Just come back in here for 10 minutes just to get these pinned in place. And I've nearly there. Yeah. And I sat in the car whilst we were driving to the restaurant just to gather those up because it's a bit of a boring job. Okay, right, so I'm going to pop them on. I'm just sitting this exactly on that very edge there, and I'm just going to pin them in place. So this will be your bottom ruffle, which will marry up with the other piece of bottom ruffle over there. Okay, so pop that one on, like so. But if I can get these ruffles on now, tomorrow I can come in and it'll all be sorted and I can do get the whole thing looking to finish off. I think I shall be sad to see this little outfit go because I've really enjoyed making the whole set of it. It's looking so adorably cute. My granddaughter went out with the outfit on when we went out for the meal. And so many people came up and asked where we got it from. It looks so adorable on her. I mean, it really does look like you've actually gone to a designer and actually, like, you know, had something made bespoke for her. And obviously, you know, there's nobody else is going to have anything like it, are they? So it will be like bespoke. So, and it does look really, really professional when it's finished off. She did look really lovely in it. She had the hair piece in, but she didn't take her little bag with her. But I dropped down to see my other grandson, and we didn't go into the house because I don't want to, just in case we've got anything, because he's just getting over this tonsillitis operation. This tonsil operation, he's just had his tonsils removed, so we didn't want to. I didn't want to sort of like make sure that we didn't give him anything or anything like that. So we just stayed in the garden for a bit and just saw him. And but my other granddaughter, when I gave her, the older one, her little dress and apron and that, it had to go on instantly, and she had to have her bow in her hair, and it was so funny because she took the bow and she just plonked it onto the top of her head, and she didn't like sort of put it in the proper way or anything, and she just sort of sat it on top of her head. And I said, oh, would you like Mummy to put that on? That's right for you. And she said, no, I can do it, it's fine. It just looked so funny with it plonked on the top of her head, but she looked adorably cute in the outfit. So yeah, went really well with her bother boots and stripy leggings which she had on at the time. Right, so I'm just stretching this one out a tiny bit. What I did was I just measured the pieces so that each piece of the gathering was double the amount of the piece which we needed to put it on. So this one is just going to sit exactly on top of that one. So if you want to, you can draw a line, but I'm just going to place mine on, so it's going to sit so that that piece is sitting to just cover up the line, and we'll just pin that piece on. Yes, so she looked really cute in it. I was asked this a couple of times if I would make them, and I said, oh no, I'm very sorry, I don't do sewing for other people. So very sorry about that. I just don't have the time. I mean, obviously I do this and I love doing this, and I sort of do it because I just want to leave like a legacy for my granddaughters and grandsons, if you know, and hopefully, you know, if YouTube is still going in a few years' time and they still can look at these things later on when they're older, there'll be something there for them. And I think it's quite nice for my granddaughter, the baby, which is not really my granddaughter, she's my great niece, but she is my granddaughter. You know, that's, I see her exactly the same as the others. She didn't have that from her granny because my sister passed away, so there wasn't anything like this, and she was such a wonderful seamstress, and she was much cleverer, but she was more clever than I am at doing these things. She just had to look at something and there it was. You know, she just had that amazing talent that some people just seem to have. I've got it there, but it's just she was just so much. She just had that gift. Yeah, and my niece, she works for MAC. She's a beautician for MAC. Oh, what she does, and she does all London fashion shows and all things like that. And yeah, that she makes up all the stars. Yeah, she's done all the stars and doing all their makeup to go on the catwalks and that, which is amazing. Yeah. So she's obviously got her flair in that way. Everybody else, pretty much in the family, are teachers. We also went into teaching. My nephew's a teacher, my son's a teacher, his partner's a teacher. My daughter's in a wheelchair as a teacher. She's had to give up teaching now because of her illness. I just want a bit more gather dust down that end. And I've got a daughter who is an accountant, and her partner's very talented as well. He does all the websites. He makes like all these professional websites for all these big companies. Yeah, so he's very clever and he does that. So, yeah. It's funny how so many of us have gone into teaching in the family. Yeah. Very strange indeed. My daughter is the accountant. She said, I could have been a teacher, she said, but I don't actually like kids like that much. She said, it's alright like having your own, she said, but no, I don't think I want to be teaching all day, every day. So, there you go. Let's stretch that one out a bit. I'm going to have to stretch that out a tiny bit more. I've got a lot of gathering at one end and nothing at the other. So just stretch it so it's coming out just a tiny bit more. There we go. That's better. Just move those two along a bit. Didn't quite have quite enough on that end. So if you do find that and you've got like more gathering on one end and the other, just come along and just push that along. And what I might do is I'll do the end of this video, but I probably won't put the Velcro on. I'll do that another day. Isn't it funny that I've put that somewhere and they're in two great big boxes? I'm like, well, where could I have put them to? Yeah, I can think of is I've put them into one of my nice plastic drawers. And they're sat there beautifully, and they could just be in a drawer. I never thought of that because I did tidy up and I did move some stuff in the drawers around, because I've now put all my fabric. I've gone through all my fabric and I took out all those little tiny pieces, like, which is a quarter of a yard, you know, like a quarter of a fat quarter and things like that. And I thought, you know, this is just ridiculous. So I bagged them up very carefully and I've taken them to the charity shop, because I know that there is a couple of quilters down there who go to that charity shop who would probably like that fabric for doing. One of the ladies I know does applique. So I think she would probably like those small pieces of fabric, because she said to me before that sometimes she just needs a little bit of one particular colour if she's doing like applique flowers or something. So I said what I would do is I would keep any little bits like that and pass it into the charity shop so she could have it. So there's my 3 rows of ruffles. Okay, you can put them slightly higher if you want to, but that's what I'm going to do with mine. I'm going to now just come along and I'm going to stitch right across each row of ruffles. All right, so we're going to go to the machine and do that. Yeah, so I went in last night because I started to feel really tired, and I just realised I've stuck the pins on the wrong end. I'll pin it, I'll stitch it from this side. Don't you do that. Come in and do it the other side. Put your pins in the other way. It's going to be a pain doing it this way, but that's okay because we're just stitching it on the bottom. Go backwards. And I'm going to go all the way along, just in a straight stitch on my normal stitch. And you might find that your machine is making a noise like that. And when you're coming along, if you notice you've got a little bit poking up a bit, just push your finger in and straighten it, okay? The machine is making that noise simply because it's going through several layers of fabric where these gathers are, okay? Let me just push that down a bit, I've got a bit of a gap there. Okay, so keep that straight. Run that along like that. Alright. I really want to take the pins out and do it all again, if I could help it. Ow. These pins are so incredibly short. There we go. Yeah, I came in and did the stuff last night and then I just thought, nah, I'm getting too tired. If I start to get tired, then you start making mistakes, don't you? So, and obviously I did because I pinned all the pins on the wrong way around, so never mind. That's that one. Just make sure that's laid flat. If you do stab yourself with your pin, just be careful and just keep looking at it because it can bleed. And you could end up with a load of blood on it. I've done that before as well. And then you've got to wash it all and get it cleaned up and everything, and before you can carry on and do anything else. So do a back stitch there. Okay, and then there, I lift that one. I'm just going to come in here, and I've done exactly the same on that side. What a silly Billy I am. I was obviously tired, so I'm going to lift my stitch out and take that back stitch off, the needle down point off. I'm just going to come in along here. Push that gathering along, but there's not much up that end, is there? It won't matter too much because you're not going to see these pieces on the side because that will be underneath your apron. Okay. Done it again. Stab myself. So you might prefer to put one on and then machine one, and I would start with the bottom one and then come and do the next one and the next one, and then that might be easier for you. I was just doing it because I was actually pinning it in place. Okay, get that laying straight. That's not straight there a minute. Just coming down a minute, that's better. Coming straight. That went underneath and I don't want that going underneath. Okay, I'm just going to the end, back stitch. And on the dress we did 2 rows, but you're not going to need to do 2 on the skirt. Oh, I'm getting all tangled up here. Let's do the next one, break that away, get rid of that. Out the way. So with this one I'm just going to pull this. Let's get rid of some of this. Right, it's a bit too much. I'm just going to lift this end up here so I can get into that piece below. So I'm just going to move this one up out of the way. Okay. Back stitch. Yeah, I think I got quite sentimental about this outfit because obviously like having COVID in the time which I was doing it and being really like sort of not with it very well, and I was sort of sat in there and I was thinking about things like different ways I could do it and that sort of thing, and you know, concentrating a lot on it. It was like, oh yeah, this will work here, that'll work there. But I never really had the strength to come and do anything to it, so. nice day today. It's going to be really nice, so let's hope we can get outside into the garden for a bit. I've got so many seeds and stuff ready to go out, which will be great. I love the sort of this part of the time of the year when you're planting things, and that starts getting really exciting. Back stitch. There we are. And do the last row. Oh, I'm caught now. Definitely got caught in the foot. There a minute. Right, take that one out. And do that last row on the bottom there. Break my needle if I can help it. That's a back stitch. Oh, what's the bottom there? Fabric. Okay, keep coming. It's just really fiddly getting your little fingers in there. So I put mine on the same way as I did on the dress, but you might prefer to put yours on slightly higher with bigger gaps in between your ruffles for the doll. It's just because, you know, whatever you think is going to look pretty on there, make it look how you want it, sort of make it look more individual. I'd love to see some photographs. If you could send me some photographs, that would be brilliant. Then I could put them up online, that would be really, really good. Let's get to the end. There we go, and back again. And the back stitch. Okay, there we go. Right, I'm just going to lift this off. I'll cut off a lot of this ends off here.